Hi everyone. I have chosen to do my current events presentation on the Universal School Meals Program Act of 2023. And I apologize ahead of time for this, I guess, lack of creativity, but I kind of struggle doing these PowerPoints, so bear with me. Thank you. Food insecurity. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, food insecurity affects millions of children and families. The USDA states that food insecurity is when people do not have enough to eat and do not know where their next meal will come from. According to the National Library of Medicine, there is much research indicating that food insecurity impedes children from reaching their full potential, physical, cognitive, and psychosocial. During the pandemic, students were provided with free breakfast and lunch, no matter what household income was. Some states are still doing this, some districts are still doing this. Not all, however. In my school, we have a school community pantry. It is occasionally stocked with snacks for students to have during the day. It is certainly not solving the problem. The Universal School Meals Program Act of 2023 would permanently provide free breakfast, lunch, and dinner to all school children, regardless of income, and put an end to the burdensome application paperwork that poses a barrier to enrollment in meal programs. It would also increase the reimbursement rates for school authorities participating in the food and nutrition programs to more accurately reflect the true cost of providing meals. It would reduce stigma associated with meal programs by eliminating meal debt and prohibiting school food authorities from discriminating against or identifying a child participating in the free meal program. It would expand the summer food service program and summer EBT program by making all children eligible to participate in the programs. Currently, only communities where 50% of children are eligible for free or reduced price lunch can operate a summer meals program. The Universal School Meals Program Act would make all communities eligible regardless of income. You know, sometimes people really seem to get upset to think that this would be something that everyone will be able to have regardless of the income of the household. Last week at work, a few of us were discussing this, and someone made a comment that it was not fair that children who had families that could afford food would even be able to have free meals. And, it just makes me think of, after doing my policy analysis, how the U.S. does not see food as an entitlement. It's just such a bizarre thing to me. The passing of the Universal School Meals Program Act would lead to happier students. No more lunch line shaming and no more embarrassing moments. I cannot tell you how many times a cafeteria worker would yell at one of my students as they were leaving the line with a hot lunch. Let's say it was turkey dinner. You need to bring back that right now. You owe money for all of last week. Bring that back. You're eating peanut butter and jelly until you pay. How awful. As students got older, they were well aware that they were receiving free lunch, and so were others. I remember in high school knowing exactly who was getting free lunch and who was not. Our students will be healthier. They will be able to have meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack that will lead to better energy, growing as they should be ready to learn. Every single day, at least one student asks me for snacks to bring home. Or when we have half days, at least one student comes in because we don't serve breakfast on the half days, let me clarify that, but they come in and they start crying when they realize they're not going to eat until lunchtime. Their families didn't give them breakfast because, I don't know, maybe they didn't have it, maybe they were running late. But my point is they're crying because they're hungry. So we find snacks for them, but it's just not the same. And, how can any of these children even focus and be calm and happy, ready to learn when they haven't eaten since the night before? Some of them, quite honestly, haven't eaten since lunch the day before. So just they need these meals. It will be just a wonderful thing for them. What is happening now? So the Universal School Meals Act was introduced on May 11th, 2023, so almost a year ago, and we are still waiting. It is still sitting there. I did include a link if you're interested, if you would like to periodically check on the progress of that. States that have passed the Universal School Meals Act as of April 9th of this year. So we have California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, New Mexico, and Vermont. 28 other states are currently planning, drafting, discussing, or negotiating expanding free school meal legislation in the near future. So New York as a whole has not. However, New York City, Albany, Rochester, and Yonkers are among the municipalities in New York that currently offer universal free school meals. While a bill was introduced in 2021 to establish universal free school meals, it has been in committee ever since. Community Food Advocates is among those supporting statewide legislation, and the policy is supported by the New York Health Foundation. Please click on the link to take action to show your support of the Universal School Meals Program. Discussion questions. Number 1. Are you in support of the Universal School Meals Program Act? Why or why not? Consider discussing your thoughts on the fact that even students from wealthy families would receive 3 meals and 1 snack per day. Number 2, how will the upcoming election affect the likelihood of the Universal School Meals Program Act being passed? Number 3, think back, way back. Do you recall a time when you watched a peer being shamed as they went through the lunch line due to a school lunch debt? Perhaps you have had this happen to yourself or even a student if you currently work in a school setting. What could we as future social workers do to make the situation better for all? And you can really look at that from a micro or a macro perspective or anything in between. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I really look forward to reading your responses. Have a great day.